Imagine a world where the boundaries of human evolution are pushed to their absolute limits. A world where single man's genius could reshape the very essence of life itself. But what happens when ambition goes unchecked? When science meets madness and human nature is forced to confront its own limitations? Welcome to a world of high-stakes battles, terrifying creations, and unexpected heroes. Buckle up, because what you're about to witness isn't just a fight for survival. It's a fight for the future itself. Get ready to dive into a tale where power, responsibility, and the cost of progress are all on the line. Chapter 3: One Punch Man. The story starts with a backstory. Long ago, there existed a brilliant young scientist. Through the musings of his astonishing genius, he was able to make a number of significant contributions to human knowledge. Eventually, however, his accomplishments led him to be disillusioned with the world. Though he was constantly showered with praise for the intricacies and revolutionary creations of his mind, none of his ideas or theories ever received even the slightest bit of support from the scientific community. Rather than advancing human civilization, his goal was the artificial evolution of humans as a species. That was the only dream he had ever had, but not a single person came forward to help him achieve his vision. Dr. Genus damned these simple apes. Dangerous ideas. Treating me like a freak. Do these lowbrow simians really think humans have come this far by avoiding risks? Idiots who think that mankind no longer has the need to evolve have no right to call themselves scientists, let alone pass on their genes. Of course, this plan and its fruition were always for my sake. I will carry it out even if I must do it all myself. Storyteller, he devoted himself to research. But it was only after he turned 70 that his efforts yielded the results he had been searching for. Dr. Genus gasps as he realized that he finally cracked. First, the scientist regained the prime age range of his youth. Next, he began cloning himself en masse. He named his laboratory the House of Evolution. And with his clones, he conducted countless experiments with animals, creating new life and new species. His experiments then shifted to human subjects. Saitama, this is taking too long. Armored gorilla. Saitama, what's this got to do with me? You're just trying to sound cool again. Armored gorilla size. Saitama, enough jibber jabber. Just get to the point, okay? Genus, my master, is a very busy man. Summarize it all in 20 words or less. Dhamki lekin pyar se. Armored gorilla. Sure, sorry about that. Armored gorilla. So in other words, the boss man has become passionately curious about you and your body. Saitama, too bad. I'm not interested in dudes. Genus, master, that is not what he meant. Your body surpasses normal human limitations. So he plans on using it for his research on evolution. Unless he is stopped, I am sure he will try this again. We cannot allow him a free hand. Our move should be to attack him. Saitama, sure, let's go. Genus, right. Footsteps. Huh. Now. Saitama, yeah. There's a sale on tomorrow. Can't do it then. Genus, but master. Armored gorilla, this doesn't sound good. Better tell the doctor. He opened his head and was about to send the message to his boss. Genus, hey you. The armored gorilla let out a sharp yelp and shouted yes. Genus, I have one last question. The House of Evolution's cyborg development. Did it begin over 4 years ago? How many were created? Have any of them destroyed towns in the past? Armored gorilla, I am not really sure. But at the House of Evolution, I am the only combat cyborg. Genus says and then the scene shifts to the jungle and the scientist's lab. Dr. Genus, impossible. Our elite force formed for the destruction of these archaic humans wiped out. Clone 33, according to Armored Gorilla's report. On the screen, Saitama and Genus are displayed. The two responsible for doing so are on their way here now. Dr. Genus gasps. Second clone if they manage to make it to the lab. All of our research, everything that we've been working on, could be destroyed. Clone 78 were in serious trouble. Dr. Genus stammers, sputtering in disbelief. We're forced to use our trump card. The clones gasp in unison. Dr. Genus begin preparations for the release of Carnage Kabuto. Every clone becomes frightened. Clone 50, no way. Fifth clone, no, not him. Sixth clone, what, that's crazy. Seventh clone, he'll finally be released. Eighth clone, he's right, that might be the only way. Maybe we should stop him. This is too dangerous. There's no turning back now. There's no other way. Dr. Genus, quiet down. Hell be our very last resort. Clone 33, but sir. Dr. Genus, well, start by activating all our traps. From the first floor to the 8th. If we are lucky, they will take care of the intruders. I'm aware of what will happen to us should we fail. Especially to me. The Seisane shift from lab to jungle, a dead bear lies in view. Genus and Saitama make their way toward the lab, running at full speed. Genus, I did not think we would be running the whole way. Saitama, how else are we gonna get there? Genus, it was my assumption that you had the ability to fly. Saitama, you know humans can't do that, right? Genus, it is amazing that you are never late. You are a true hero. Saitama, really, you're kidding. I hardly ever arrive on time. Genus, we're here. This is the place we were told about. Saitama, so this is. Genus, the house of evolution. Saitama, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like it's about 8 stories high. While Saitama was counting, Genus blew up the entire lab in one swift motion without hesitation, and everything was engulfed in smoke. From the smoke, Saitama appeared and said, "That seemed a little rash, don't you think?" Genus, you see, in the interest of efficiency, I thought it would be best to destroy them all in one fell swoop. The destruction was so immense that it was visible to the naked eye, revealing just how powerful Genus is. Then Saitama says, well, that was efficient, but we could have at least seen what our enemies had in store for us. You didn't really think that one through. As they moved forward, they both discovered a basement. Looks like there's a basement. Scene shift to the basement. A clone lets out a loud yell, desperately firing a bullet at Carnage Kabuto, who is tightly bound by the chain. Then Kabuto crushes the clone in his fist, grinding it down with ruthless force. Blood splatters in every direction, staining the ground deep red. A few crimson droplets land on him too, as the air grows thick with the scent of iron. Dr. Genus here, Carnage Kabuto. Tell me, are you feeling alright? It would appear you've killed a bunch of my clones again. The Carnage Kabuto moves his head towards the scientist, and then scientist says, "Are you satisfied?" Carnage Kabuto, you fool. Why would I be satisfied, huh? I've been kept locked up deep beneath the earth. I'm the strongest warrior in the entire house of evolution. Dr. Genus, you were imprisoned because you're mentally unstable. We couldn't control you. There was no choice in the matter. Carnage Kabuto, you couldn't control me. He laughs, shaking his head, and says, "Moran, I am the ultimate culmination of the new human. You guys have sought for so long. My intelligence and physical strength are incomparable to your own. The way I see it, you and all of your clones should be the ones obeying me." Kabuto lets out a menacing slurp as he approaches the scientist. Dr. Genus thinks, and he says, "No, you're a failure. It's true you perform at unheard of levels, but you lack humanity. Allowed, go ahead and kill me if you want. Plenty of clones could take my place." Carnage Kabuto, Dr. Genus, but I have a favor to ask first. The screen appears and the Saitama and Genus were sneaking through the camera. The Saitama clean his nose, which is good habit, haha. They're a specimen I simply must have. He's proven to be extremely strong. Only you could defeat him. I want you to catch him for me. Carnage Kabuto chuckles. Dr. Genus says, dead or alive. Genus and Saitama walk down the tunnel, their footsteps echoing through the silence that envelopes the area. Saitama, this basement is huge. I'm getting kinda fired up. Genus gasps. Saitama, Genus, I sense living beings deeper inside. Master, 2 of them are approaching us. Saitama, glass shattering. Carnage Kabuto says, yeah, here we go. Which one is it? Dr. Genus, the one on the right. Carnage Kabuto, in that case. You don't need the one on the left. Kabuto charges forward and lands a powerful punch on Genus, sending him crashing into the wall. Saitama Genus. Oh, Kabuto crossed by, but Saitama didn't react. He turned to see Genus with his head stuck in the wall. Whoa, Carnage Kabuto says my name is Carnage Kabuto. We've got a combat experimentation room. Back this way, let's throw down in there. Chuckles. Saitama, you just turned Genus into a piece of bad modern art. Let's do this. Carnage Kabuto chuckles, a teasing smile creeping across his face. The scene moved from tunnel to a massive room, the Kabuto says. Pretty big, huh? It's the largest room in this facility. This is where we fight to test our combat abilities, which means there's plenty of room here to kick your ass. Well then, let's start the killing. A burst of fire erupts on the screen, revealing that Genus is still in fight mode. Still alive. Are you? Genus gasps. After taking a deep breath, Genus charges toward Kabuto, launching an attack with flames. He strikes again and again without pause, but Kabuto doesn't even flinch. Then, Genus leaps into the air, aiming for a powerful aerial strike to hit Kabuto from above. Kabuto looks up, smirking, and says, "You fool." Genus says machine gun blows. As soon as Genus attempts to land a punch, Kabuto reacts swiftly, grabbing him out of midair. With terrifying strength, he slams Genus violently into the ground, the impact shaking the very earth beneath them. Without hesitation, Kabuto hurls Genus across the battlefield, sending him flying through the air. Genus spins uncontrollably, tumbling end over end, his body crashing against the ground with each roll. Finally, he spirals towards Saitama, crashing into his arms with a heavy thud. "He got me good. Let me." Carnage Kabuto chuckles. Genus says take him. Saitama says your face is cracked and you're all smashed up. Don't push yourself. Genus gasps, and then he releases a powerful beam aimed straight at Kabuto. But Kabuto effortlessly stops the beam with a mere exhale, his breath cutting through the energy like it was nothing. Genus stunned stammers impossible. The camera shifts to Saitama, who calmly looks at the scene and simply says Genus. "Hey, are you alright?" Genus says yes, "Master." Saitama says no, "You're not. Look at your head." Carnage Kabuto laughs, teasingly sticking his tongue out. Saitama says, "Well, I've got to admit, that was pretty impressive. You've gone and gotten my hopes up." The camera shifts to a wide angle, almost comically stretching as if it's afraid it might break. Dr. Genus gasping and holding his injured arm, and in a bad condition walking towards the room. I have always been critical of humans and their inferior abilities. Aside from myself, the entire species can only be viewed as dumb animals. That realization was agony for me. If memory serves, I was 15 years old at the time. That's when I hit upon my plan to evolve the human animal and create a world where I could live contentedly. A utopia of my very own, created by my genius. A realm populated by a new human breed, transcending humanity, bringing about a new world order. He stops, then collapses to his knees, blood spilling onto the surface. The camera frame shifts to reveal Saitama standing tall in front of Kabuto. The scientist says, "I must see it through. Compared to the horrible anguish I endured back then, this physical pain I feel now is nothing." Camera moved to the battle room where the Kabuto says with rage, "What's the holdup? Let's get this thing going. Bring everything you've got." Dr. Genus says Carnage Kabuto, the strongest and most brutal creation of the House of Evolution. Let's see how your archaic human processes fare against a monster that is the apex of artificial evolution. Or will you and this challenge reveal new avenues for experimentation? I can't wait to find out. The sound of boots squeaking echoes, and the camera shifts from the bottom to the top. Saitama's cape swings in the air as he stands with a serious expression. Carnage Kabuto says, "Oh, I see it. I see it. You're supposed to be strong. Saitama walks toward him, his footsteps steady, and says, "Don't disappoint me now. You're supposed to be the ultimate weapon in this place, right? Clearly, you're not the same as those guys this morning. Look at you, just oozing with confidence." Carnage Kabuto laughs. With vanishing speed, he moved around Saitama. Genus watches in awe and says, "Such speed." As Kabuto circled around Saitama with incredible speed, Saitama effortlessly turned to face him, overshadowing his speed. This caused Carnage Kabuto to gasp in shock. He quickly tried to flee, launching himself into the air in an attempt to escape. And then, Saitama says, "What are you doing?" "Hey," Dr. Genus says, "Absurd." Carnage Kabuto retreating? Carnage Kabuto says, "If I'd attacked him just now, he would have killed me. Who the hell is this guy? He's leaving himself wide open. Yet all of my instincts are screaming, sending out danger signals." Saitama says her. Carnage Kabuto says, "Bastard. What are you? Some kind of freak? How in the hell did you get that strong?" The camera pauses for a moment before shifting to Kabuto, who is breathing heavily. Genus gasps, his eyes wide. Carnage Kabuto is panting, struggling to catch his breath. Saitama says, "So you wanna know as well? Okay, fine." Genus, you listen carefully, too. Genus says, "Wait. You mean he's going to tell us right now the secret to his amazing power?" The scientist came in a frame and Dr. Genus says, "I want to know as well." Saitama says her, "Who are you?" Dr. Genus says, "I am Genus." Saitama says her, "Genus, no, it is too risky. He must not let them know his secret." Saitama, "First, what's important is to make sure you really stick to this intense training regimen." Dr. Genus, "Wait a minute. Not modification surgery or genetic enhancement. Just training." Carnage Kabuto, "What training?" Everyone ears are up. Saitama, "Listen, Genus. You have to keep doing it, no matter how difficult it gets. It took me a full 3 years to get this strong. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and 100 squats. Then a 10-kilometer run. Do it every single day." Camera dissolves into the past. Running on a street, panting. And of course, make sure you eat 3 meals daily. Just a banana in the morning is fine. But never ever use the air conditioner in the summer or heat in the winter so you can strengthen the mind. In the beginning, you'll wish you were dead. You might start thinking, what's the harm of taking a day off? But for me, in order to be a strong hero, even if I was spitting blood, I never stopped. I toughed it out and endured the pain. I did squats even when my legs felt like they couldn't move. Even when my arms started making weird clicking noises. I kept doing push-ups. Growling. A year and a half later, I started to notice a difference. I was bald, and I had become stronger. In other words, you gotta train like hell to the point where your hair falls out. That's the only way to become truly strong. Guys fooling around with this new human race and evolution junk, they're never gonna make it this far. Human beings are strong coys, we can change ourselves. Dr. Genus W. What did he say? Carnage Kabuto, is this guy for real? Genus Master, you are so full of crap. Saitama, Genus, that is nothing more than standard strength training. And it is really not even that intense. It is just a normal level. I have to get stronger, understand me. I cannot believe you would do this. I did not ask to study under you to hear jokes. Master Saitama, please. Your power is more than one could achieve by just training. Dr. Genus, yes, that's right. I want to know your Genus, your true secret, please reveal it. Saitama, look, Genus. You may not believe me, but that's really all I did. Genus gasps. Carnage Kabuto came in a frame and says, "Oh yeah." Dr. Genus, "No, don't do it. You mustn't." Kabuto is enhancing his own powers, his veins bulging more intensely, and his face becoming even more terrifying. Carnage Kabuto, if you don't wanna tell us your secret, so be it. Dr. Genus, oh my god. He moves back. Looks like he's going on another rampage. An alarm blares, filling the air with a shrill sound. Carnage Kabuto, I bet you aren't stronger than me. Not even close. Alarm blaring. Whirring. Carnage Kabuto, but since you seriously pissed me off. Growls, I'm gonna annihilate you. After he says that, he slams his feet into the ground, activating his carnage mode. When I get like this, I lose control for a whole week. And my lust for death cannot be quelled. After I kill you, I'll head into town. Once I'm there, I'll go on a bloody killing rampage until next Saturday. Saitama recalls some things by the word Saturday. If you really are a strong hero, then try and stop me. He roars. Kabuto unleashes a ferocious punch aimed directly at Saitama. The force so overwhelming that Saitama is violently sent crashing into the wall, leaving a deep crater in his wake. Saitama no way it can't be. Kabuto launched many punches without break one by one, sending Saitama in air. Genus master. Saitama, damn it. I may have inadvertently made a horrible mistake. This guy's in carnage mode. And he said he'll be on a rampage for a whole week. As Kabuto continued to rage in his mind, Saitama effortlessly caught his punch, holding it with ease, unfazed by the overwhelming force. Carnage Kabuto die. The scientist was watching all this and camera shift to the Saitama. Now he's thinking now about the battle about the store. Saitama, so he'd be like this through next Saturday. One whole week from today. Next Saturday. In other words, he's saying today is Saturday too. That means, Dr. Genus, it's all over. There's no one in this world who can stop my glorious creation. Saitama, that means. Today is bargain day at the supermarket. Saitama says casually. With a single effortless punch, he lands a glorious hit on Carnage Kabuto, shattering his form. Yellow flesh bursts into the air, scattering everywhere in the aftermath. After the scream became normal, the reedy blood splashes all over is visible, and the scientist was in shock with wide open mouth. The camera focuses on Saitama, his expression a mix of frustration and disbelief. He yells out, his hand gripping his head as if trying to process the chaos around him. Dr. Genus, who the hell is this guy? Saitama is screwed up. Dr. Genus, what is he talking about? Genus from a side came in frame and says to scientist, I believe. He is upset because he is missing this. The scientist grabs the pamphlet and reads gigantic sale Saturday only. Master, the store closes at 10 p.m. That is about 4 hours from now. If we really hurry, we can still make it. Saitama, wait. So you're saying there's still a chance? Genus, right. Saitama, let's go. Genus, yes master. They both left the place in a hurry, and from behind, the scientist watched them in disbelief. Dr. Genus, I think I'm finished dabbling with evolution. A loud thud echoes, and the camera shifts, revealing a giant hole where multiple layers of protection have been destroyed. It would appear, I'm the one who must change. He sniffs. Here the third episode ends. Many mans are investigating on the place where the battle was happened with their equipment. Man, yes, the on-site investigation is underway. Yes, that's correct. Like the other cases, the area has been thoroughly burnt by intense flames. Everything we've seen points to the young cyborg as the one who's responsible. Yes, got it. Look at this. Such devastating power. Another man says, yeah,